So in this video, we are going to learn about user input in JavaScript. So why is user input an important concept of JavaScript? Because that is something that is going to make your web pages dynamic. So you take a user input, calculate some output, and then give the output back to the web page. So that's where the dynamic characteristic or the dynamic property of JavaScript will come into the picture. Now in order to do this, the first method that I will make use of in order to capture my data is getElementById. Now we have learned how to create input elements using form. So now what we are going to do in this video is that we are going to create a text box, we are going to create a button, we are going to create a paragraph, and whatever value that I enter inside the text box will be captured on the click of the button and will be displayed on the paragraph. So for that, I will be needing two properties of this getElementById function. The first property is the value property. This property will allow me to capture the value from the text box. The next property is inner HTML property. Now this inner HTML property is used whenever that I want to assign a certain value to any of my HTML elements. So in order to modify my HTML elements, basically I'm going to make use of the inner HTML property along with the getElementById function. So let's quickly see how does this work. Let's start with our basic structure. HTML, we'll write the head section. Let's write a title. And we'll create our form design first, and then we'll move on to the script part. So like I said, in the form I will be needing a text box. So I will simply write enter text, and I'll create a text box with the help of input type is equal to text and assign an ID. Now since the function name is getElementById, it tells you that it is going to refer to the element whose ID I have mentioned as a parameter to the function. So the ID attribute of every HTML element is very important here. Now the next thing that I will do is I will create a button. Now notice that I am not creating a button using input type equal to button here. I am using another method of creating a button. So what I am going to do is I am going to call in an event handler here, which is going to call my function from the script. Okay, so the event handler that I'm going to make use of is on click. The name that I am giving to my function is input1. The value on my button would be click here. I close the button tag, and then I'm going to create an empty paragraph. I'm creating this empty paragraph so that I can display the value of the function, the value calculated by the function on the paragraph. Let's move ahead and write our script now. Script language is equal to JavaScript. Now, what do I want to do? I want to capture the data from the text box, and I will store that value in a variable. So for that, I'll create a variable using the var keyword. Now, I'll write document.getElementById. You have to be careful about this last word of the function id, because most of the times we tend to get confused between whether it is all capital or it is or just I is capital and B is small. So you have to be a little careful here. Now which ID are we trying to refer? We are trying to refer to the ID T1 because I want to fetch the data from the text box with the ID T1. What do you want to fetch? You want to fetch the value. Therefore, you're writing the value property after. Now the next thing is I want to display this value that entered in the text box on my empty paragraph. So this time the document.getElementById function will be written on the left hand side of the assignment operator. Our assignment operator is nothing but the equal to symbol. Now the ID of my paragraph is E1 equal to inner HTML equal to what is the text that you want to display. You want to just simply display the value of the variable x. Now notice that we are going to call a function on the click of the button. Only when I call this function will my statement get executed. So I'll have to create a function around this. So in order to create a function in JavaScript, you make use of the function keyword. Give the same name as that you have given below and enclose your statements within curly brackets. So this becomes your function which will be called when the button is clicked. Okay. So one thing to notice or to remember is that your document.getElementById function is going to be written on the right hand side when you're trying to assign the value from any HTML element to a variable. When you're trying to assign a value calculated to any HTML element, your document.getElementById statement will be written on the left hand side. Let's execute this. Let's save and then execute this function. Okay, so let's enter some text here. I'm writing the value text. I'll click on the button and you can see my empty paragraph has now gained the text that I had written in my text box. So that is how you can capture your data, store it in a variable, calculate it or perform any activity and then get it displayed back on the same page. So that was with the document.getElementById function.